Hey, Larry. I'm just gonna lay there, Stella. Zelda, I mean, not Stella. Hey, Carmel. Hey, Brandon. We're a little frustrated today. We took Stella to the vet to get her skin looked at. And it's what we thought. He said a miliary dermatitis, something like that. But it's typically a reaction, allergic type reaction. And probably from a flea or fleas. But he said it can happen, you know, if they have a bad allergy. It can just be one flea. So the plan was to give her steroids and antibiotics. And he said he could do an injectable steroid, but there was a risk of her having a reaction to that, and he preferred giving her an oral steroid. So I said, okay, that's all fine and good. Unbeknownst to me, it's in liquid form, along with an antibiotic. And we wrestled with Stella until we just gave in. The liquid is not going to happen. So I guess tomorrow I will call and see if they have something in a pill form. Because I also got her a Capstar while I was there, in case she still had a flea or fleas on her somewhere. And we put that in a pill pocket, and that was easy money. But we tried putting the steroid in her food. She said no way.
Well, she's supposed to have 3 mils per dose, and we got about half a mil in her mouth while scruffing her and holding her together.
Same with the antibiotic. That's about as much as I got.
Before she flipped out.
But yeah,
she tried to scratch us and ran away.
She was not having any of that.
You just play too rough with her, Doc. You're a lot bigger than she is.
So if they don't have the steroids in a pill form, I'm just going to have to take her back and get an injection and just hope that they have the antibiotic in a pill form.
I don't see why they wouldn't, because we had the pills for the spays and neuters for the first litter. No, for the adult cats.
I know she had pills.
Do the boys have pills or liquid? They had pills. The first litter had liquid and the second litter had pills. So we have all the pill pockets for them. And she got pill pockets too, with no pill in them. She didn't get spayed until after they did, so she didn't feel left out.
Hey, Connie. But yeah, the bottom line is the liquid medicine for Stella is not going to work.
Well, you were saying that we tried putting it in her food and she was...
Yeah.
The steroid smells like cough syrup and she is not a fan of that.
She ate a very little bit of it, but not very much.
And she's eaten almost all of her regular sized portion now that we gave her afterwards with no medicine in it. So it's not that she wasn't hungry enough to eat it. She said it tasted terrible and she's not going to eat it.
Yeah. And I even kind of got on my hands and knees and straddled her between my knees and tried to scruff her and hold her down while I was giving her the antibiotic, and she still managed to squirm away from me. So I didn't want to force the issue beyond that and have her hurt herself. It's a lot happier now, Brandon. The work day is over. I'm going to get their thing out. It's in the...
I'm trying to laser pointer before we...
Oh, that's fine. Whatever.
Crack it way out. She's done. She's almost done. She went in all of this.
But I think we're also going to cut back on the the kittens' food a little bit. We took Stella to the vet, and he said it's a miliary, I think is what he said, miliary dermatitis or something like that. It's just like an allergic reaction that's causing her skin. Yeah, it's causing her skin to be all scabby and gross. But yeah, steroid and antibiotic is what he wanted her to take, and he said it should clear it up, assuming she took it. But she said, no, I'm not taking that liquid. And I fought with her for 20 minutes. It just wasn't going to happen.
You must have finished that last little bite quick. And then she was done. But yeah, we're gonna cut back their dry food since all but Wilson are a little bit pudgy and they don't seem to want to eat their food right away, or they'll take a few bites of it and run off. So leave a little bit
Hey,
less dry
Suzanne.
food out all the time, and maybe they'll actually be hungry enough to eat their wet food.
Which means Lionel and Hank may be a little hungry tonight, but since they don't eat the wet food.
Well, we've gotten kittens this young and younger before. And I feel like we've transitioned them to meal times by this age, so.
Are you talking about Stella Carmel? If you mean Stella, yeah, she scratches. She has been scratching a lot. But we've treated her for fleas, and I think it's just a skin irritation that's not going away.
She scratches and then grooms basically constantly.
But either way, I'll call him tomorrow and see if I can get some pills, and we can manage that. It's the liquid that we can't do. They probably could have done it at the vet and convinced me it could be done, but she tries to sink into the table when she's at the vet, and you could probably do anything you wanted to her.
Hey, Lily.
Not here, though.
Hey, Lily. What? That's all.
I don't see Lionel out here. Liquid, it was a lot easier for the kittens, at least the first go round. But with those pill pockets, the cats, all the cats we've ever given those pill pockets to, they love them. So it's just.
I don't think we've ever had them like chew a pill out of it.
They're mushy, so you can just kind of stick the pill in the middle of it and ball it up, and the cats love those things, and they eat it immediately. But I guess if the liquid didn't taste terrible and we could put it on her food like I was hoping, that would have been even easier, but she didn't think it tasted very good.
She reacted like the kittens did when they licked their flea medicine. Like she tried to spit it out and turn around.
Yeah. And plus the dosage, if it was just like a 1 milliliter dosage, we could probably pull it off. But at 3 mil, it fills the syringe up. That's the max volume for that syringe. And
it's like as much as she's getting food. If you put both the medicines in it, it'd be like half medicine, half food.
Or maybe we're just bad at giving medicine, but no, she put up a pretty good fight.
Well, we know how to do it. She's just bigger and.
Plus there's the fear factor. Yeah, the fear factor of Stella just lashing out, because she was a street cat. I know she's got it in her.
Well, she attacked my leg the one time that I made the kitten.
Yeah.
The baby kitten's his when she first came to the office.
She was definitely protective of the kittens when they first got here. I don't know if there's a smudge on my thing. Maybe a little better. So yeah, sorry to be Debbie Downer this afternoon. It was just kind of frustrating to fight with her for so long and not get it accomplished, and now I've got to go back to the vet and buy some more medicine.
I think our regular vet rarely gives liquid anything.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had some sort of liquid we've had to give before, but it's mostly pills.
They should make all cat medicine in liquid form, tuna flavored.
Well, we had that supplement the one time. I think it was liver flavored maybe.
Yeah.
Like paste. We switched to powder because it's cheaper than the paste, but everyone loved that stuff. Since I'm getting into it. We lost it. It's starting to get a little dimmer. What are you doing, Lily?
Lily and Doc are just observing.
Waiting for it to come to them. Doc must be tired. I barely even knew we were in the room with them. Just messing with the other ones and just sort of blended in.
No, it definitely did not go smoothly for us, and we're a little reluctant to make Stella mad. Like I said, she's got some street cat running through her veins, and I don't want to make her mad and be on the receiving end of that. I don't think she would hurt us, but
I did.
hard to say.
If she got mad enough or stressed enough, I don't think she would hesitate to bite us or scratch us really good. Every time I get too close to her, I'm a little apprehensive that she might jump out and get me.
They say they want the crack toy now.
This is the old crack toy. Move on to the new crack toy.
Well, I used it to corral them in their room earlier because I don't keep the laser pointer here, so. But as soon as they hear that, they come running. Even Doc got up for it. Yeah, it's their new favorite. Or some.
Move behind, oh, okay, move now. They're side by side, watching.
It depends on the toy. These, we had several of these smaller kickers. Which these are the, if I can reach it. These are a lot bigger than the first ones we had. We'll see how long they last. They went through the other ones pretty quick because they would gnaw on the corners of them And I don't think this has the plastic stuff on the inside of them like the other ones, but the other one's kind of crinkled because they had this plastic stuff in there. And they would gnaw at the corners and start ripping out the plastic, and we'd have to take it away from them. But beyond that, they're not terribly rough with their toys. This one might not last very long because once they grab hold of it, they don't want to let it go. It's already lost a couple of feathers.
Trick is to not let them catch it.
Yeah, let them chase it, but not catch it. But they love the cardboard scratchers, and those don't last very long around our house, but they last a little longer here.
We have some dedicated cardboard scratchers. I don't flip it quickly enough, they'll basically just dig a hole in it at home.
Are you trying to kill our cats?
I didn't know you would go for it there. I was trying to toot Lily. Oh, that's great. You guys are so entertaining. I like when they jump right straight across the shot. Have you ever caught it, Zelda? You got to let it go. You have no concern for each other.
Should probably actually be on this side of you. That way I can pan all the way up and not show all our proprietary secrets on the dry erase boards.
Oh, you almost got it. You almost got it off.
I don't even need the agility. I just want half their energy.
Well, we'd have that much energy too if we could just sleep 16 hours a day.
I could.
I couldn't.
Well, I would try anyway, given the opportunity. But unless somebody's paying a good salary to let you sleep, probably out of luck.
Nope. Fell off.
Lionel's up there in the stool.
Percy's taking a nap.
Yeah, Percy gave up.
Rest. Give it up, buddy. You gotta give it up. You're gonna scare everybody away.
Yeah, I don't know why we waited so long to bring this thing up here, because they obviously love it.
Yeah, it was in one of those bins in the bedroom. I don't know.
I knew it was in there, but I guess because they had lost interest, or mostly lost interest in the little fishing bobber one, I didn't think they would go this crazy for it. I think you wore Wilson out.
Sounds like you use all of my energy when I go for it.
It's like just a little jingly bell with some feathers on the end of it. I'm trying to show it to them. Can't really show it to you without somebody attempting to snag it.
It's got some little beads on the stick too.
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose the beads serve, but they're on there. And a little jingly bell and several feathers.
He was slow motion reaching for it.
Yeah, our cats at home go crazy for it too. I thought maybe even Stella would like it, but she was just whatever. Get that away from me when I attempted to play with her. But I think it came in the assortment that Sasha Pooch sent when the Back to the Future kittens were still tiny. Don't hold me to that. That's been several months ago now, but I think that's.
I don't know where else it would have come from. 'Cause everything else came like in a multi-pack of things.
I'm trying to back up far enough where you can see them at the peak of their jump. Yeah, all of these guys are fosters, with the exception of, I don't know if you can see her down there. That's Lily, the little white spot right there. That's her chest. It's kind of hard to see her. And Stumpy is the black cat back there. Those are the permanent residents. All the rest are fosters. Yeah, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out here now. Stella makes 7. No, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, with Clara. Who are we missing?
What?
So who are we missing?
What are we
Oh, Lionel. Lionel's behind you. So 7 fosters out here, plus Stella, who's in her room, I think. So 8, plus the 2 permanent residents, or 10 in this office. And then we have our 8 at home and 2 dogs. Yes, we're insane.
That wasn't as costly as I expected.
Oh, careful.
This is paw.
We used to have a lot more here. Doc is the last.
Oh, fail.
That's Clara. Clara is Doc's mom.
What happens when he catches it?
Yeah, Wilson caught the feather and he doesn't let go. But yeah, Clara is Doc's mom. He had 4 other brothers and sisters who have been adopted out, so we had at one time 14 cats up here. Doc is the only one that.
Oh, I gotta make sure I don't accidentally put it like next to my body.
Yeah.
Jump on my body.
Doc is the only one that's gotten the royal treatment and the freedom to roam around out in the main room when nobody's around. His brothers and sisters didn't get to do that, but they didn't stick around as long as he has. And if we ever get any of the others adopted and pare it down to just a handful of cats, then I'll let the others run around out here some too, but for now, they get shut up at night. They have their own little room in the back. little bit better view of Lily. We can't make it even better than that. That's Lily. She was the first cat that ever got to come inside that we rescued. Here at least.
I heard my name.
And she's watching the toy.
Stella says, where is everyone?
Well, the door's still shut, isn't it?
No. Let Wilson finish her food.
I don't know what she's crying about. Hello, Stella. Stella the Grouch. I think she's upset with me. 'Cause I tortured her today. Between the
Problem.
ride in my truck and what? Did it break?
Come out and hold it up with your hand so that they don't get it.
But yeah, between the truck ride and then being at the vet and then coming back here and attempting to give her the medicine,
I just have to
she has not had the best day.
I'll hold it. Hold on to the stick part.
We've had a malfunction with the toy.
The handle came off when they snatched it out of my hand.
I'm tending to agree, Connie, but it's at the same time she comes out during the day and she hangs out in the open now, and
Not again! You guys are gonna break this thing. Even more
But-
than you already have.
if that opportunity presents itself again, I'll probably take somebody up on it, as long as they'll understand that she has terrible flea allergies and keep her medicated. And
Yeah, that's a bad combination, I think, being an outside cat.
when I trapped Stella, her back legs were just almost completely bald.
Paranoid now, it's gonna pop loose in a second.
She's definitely not right now. Like I said, she's had quite a day, but over the past few days that I've been here at work, I mean, she has her spots. She'll either go in the tunnel, but today she hung out on this little scratcher down here. She just hung out on that next to me most of the day.
Really wanted it.
Not Lily, Stumpy, and Clara so much, but she's not hissing at him or anything like that.
She hasn't gotten mad at Doc lately, has she?
No, we had the one little dust up that happened when Stella or Lily got into their room and hissed, and then Stella tried to take matters into her own hands. But aside from that, my goal is to at least give her a chance when all these guys finally, when and if all these guys finally get adopted, to see how she adjusts to less chaos all the time. Because with all these guys, I mean, you see how they are now. It's not really any different when I let them out during the day. They're all scurrying around, messing with something at all times.
What are we gonna do about this? I just have to tape it all.
Does it have holes on the both ends of the handle?
No, just the one end. And it only goes in like a little bit. It's not.
I just have to put some super glue on the end of it and try to glue it on.
Can't really hold just the wire securely.
But Connie, you may be right. I mean, she may just be totally miserable until she's able to go back outside. I've just got to find a better spot than where we are now. Too many dogs and things running around. I started feeding her probably spring of 2014. she was a few months old then. So I'm saying between 3.5 or between 3.5 years old, maybe 4.
Nope. Let's took it again.
If I had it to do over again,
Oh. Stick on your mouse.
yeah. Well, we haven't lost one. Melanie has, but all of our cats have been indoors since we've been together.
When I was a kid, or a teenager, I guess.
But like I was going to say, if I had it to do all over again, it's partially my fault that we're in the predicament we're in, because I didn't really claim Stella as my own, because there were people living in the apartments behind this office at the time, and they were feeding her. I talked to them and even dropped off a bag of food. I think I've told you guys, it's not the greatest neighborhood anyway. We're in downtown Montgomery, so the residential places that are down here for the most part are not the best. There's a lot of low-income housing and all that around. And that's the case for the apartments back there. And I had seen Stella, and I had been putting out a little bit of food for her, and I was petting her and every time I would see her and all that, and I just assumed it was their cat. And I went back and talked to him one day, and I gave him a bag of food and said, well, if you need anything, need help with anything, let me know. And they never really talked to me after that. And one day they had put a collar on her, so I'm thinking, well, that's their cat. Well, then they just up and moved and left Stella and her brother Tom. So then it was my responsibility, and I didn't get her fixed right away like I should have, but that's my fault. I think we already had 5 at home
Don't eat it. Don't
at that
eat
point.
It. Don't take it.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. But I should have, looking back, as soon as I caught Lily, I should have tried to trap the rest of them. Yeah, and I try to give them the benefit of the doubt in that they probably weren't their cats. They were probably just strays that they decided to feed for a little while. But what threw me off was when they put the collar on Stella. I'm like, well, that's their cat. They're going to take care of the cat, but no. I mean, at one point I saw with my own eyes that they would run inside their apartment. I don't think they stayed in there for any length of time, but they would let them inside. And it might have just been Stella that was going inside. I know it was a black cat. Tom was
No.
kind of feral,
Let it go. There we go.
more so than Stella ever was. I mean, it took me months of feeding them before Tom let me pet him.
You guys ever get tired of this?
Apparently not. Yeah, well, I got the sense, and I try not to be a judge of people like that, but I got the sense that the woman that lived there probably wasn't all there mentally. Because when I went back there and knocked on the door and gave him some food, she just kind of, the guy that came out and talked to me, he was a nice guy, but she just kind of stood behind him, leering over his shoulder at me, and I just got a weird vibe from her. But at any rate, they are. But those people aren't living there anymore. I'm not sure what the deal is with that apartment. It's like there's 3 or 4 buildings back there, and there's people living in the one closest to our building, and then there's people living in the one to the left of that, and then there's one that's just like totally gutted out, and there's been squatters in there, and there's windows broken out of it, so I don't know what's going on. I wish they would just bulldoze the whole thing to the ground, but not my decision to make. Because there's a terrible problem with transients and all that, especially being right off the interstate. There's a gas station close by that I absolutely refuse to go to because you cannot go there without being harassed for money every time. And I guess the business owner just lets it go on because they panhandle and then they go inside and they buy beer from him or wine or whatever it is they're buying.
Ripple.
Yeah, Wild Irish Rose or something. I don't know, cheap wine or cheap beer.
Mad Dog 2020.
But it is not unusual for me to come into work in the morning and to see, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and see a guy walking down the street with a beer in his hand. But that's enough of my
I'm about to say, all of my
griping.
like that. I'll just say that. Not great section.
But since you're all up to date on the sociological aspects of this neighborhood, we're almost at 40 minutes and my phone tells me that my battery's going to die in a second.
You're colliding.
And these guys ought to be ready for a nap now. So tomorrow, it could be 5:30. It could be later. I'll let you know before I leave or before end of the workday anyway. Gosh, Doc, that was kind of clumsy. Yeah, but before the end of the workday, I'll know for sure whether or not it'll be regular time or a little later. Tomorrow is typically the night we go to dinner with my folks, so I will let you all know then. Thank you, Larry and Connie and Carmel, Suzanne. I'm doing this from memory. Brandon was here. Thank you, Brandon. Tommy was here. I didn't see Tina today. I have to scroll back through and make sure I don't forget people. I said Suzanne, I think. Huh? Yeah, we may just have to. Well, Carmel, typically we do during the week 5:30. The only exception is there's one day out of the week.
Well, we say 5:30, but it's really
Yeah, between 5:30 and 6. Today was later because I had to fight with Stella and get mad and all that stuff. So typically between 5:30 and 6. And sometimes on Tuesdays or Thursdays it's around 8 or so. But most oftentimes it will be 5:30 to 6 p.m. every day. So, but thank you guys. We're going to pack it up and I need to stuff some food in my face and decompress. But we will see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching.